behold, a voice said from heaven, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. I put it to you, I want to challenge you a little bit, because we know that Jesus had 33 years on earth, and his public ministry was about 3 years or 3.5 years, depending on who that you are reading. And apart from 12 years old, we have never read anything about Jesus' public ministry, which means that his public ministry, we are told that it started from here, because from here he was driven to the wilderness, and from there then he was empowered. And when he came, he went into the temple and said that the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for he has anointed me, la 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 la. That was the beginning of his public ministry. But here, Jesus had not worked a miracle. Jesus had not preached the message. Jesus had not done anything that we call so-called service. But listen to God, that for the 30 years of quiet living, God will come and say, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Which therefore tells me that being is more important than doing. He didn't abandon his ministry, but the pleasure of God didn't come upon him because he did. The pleasure of God came upon him because he was. This is my beloved Son. Everything that I have required of him, he has done in these 30 years. I have required him to be, he was anointed, announced by angels, but by the timings of God, he had to be hidden or go on with his ordinary life. And Jesus had complied. Jesus was sent by the neighbors. Jesus was a carpenter. He was making chairs. He was making all of these things. But he was a carpenter when he said that I'll greet you Thursday, you got it. He was not a Ghanaian carpenter, he was a Jewish carpenter. And yet, God's pleasure was upon him. We have become a generation that are not being, and then we are substituting by our doing. The doing is good because Jesus did, but the prerequisite for the doing was being. And God's pleasure was because he was his Son. A son reflects the Father.